What is going on, everyone, and welcome to r/EntitledParents. Now, in today's first story, an entitled mum tells someone living in their own house to turn their own TV off because their kid is looking through their window and watching the TV when they shouldn't be doing that. I know it sounds really strange, and trust me, at first I was a little bit confused as well, but it's a great story. Let's get straight into it. Mama Karen wanted me to turn off my TV when her family walks by apartments because her kid is grounded. I just moved into an apartment last week. So far, everyone I've met in passing has been nice. No one has been too loud at unreasonable hours, arguing with each other, stealing parking spaces, and other typical shared space craziness. Yet, at least. I've only been here a week. I did though, however, encounter a Mama Karen and her 6-year-old son, roughly. My apartment is one of those half-in-the-ground units with 2 other floors on top. As such, the top of my patio wall is level to the walking path. If I have my blinds open, you can easily see into my living room and kitchen. This honestly doesn't bother me. The weather is finally really nice here, so after work yesterday, I opened my patio sliding door and blinds to let the cooler air in while playing some Minecraft. After a while, I could hear a couple of women talking outside a few units down, just general chit-chat. I also heard a smaller kid running around, messing with the gravel along the pathways, and generally just being a bored kid while mummy talked with her friend. Really, no big deal at all. Then it happened. I heard one of the women called for the kid. Jason, 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 get over here, Jason! Fake name for protection. I looked up to see the kid standing on the path next to my unit, transfixed on my TV. Uh-oh, he didn't answer quick enough. Mama Karen came stomping over to him and jerked his arm to force him to look at her while she yelled in his face about answering her and to not watch TV, especially someone else's. I thought the way she was acting was overkill, but I let it be. He's not my kid, and I'm not a parent at all. Just to my fur babies, 2 cats. I did pay attention for it if things got worse to jump in, but I didn't stare. I only looked over when she called out to me to apologize for her son. Note, not for her behavior. I said it was fine. Mama Karen took him back over to her friend and they continued talking. Eventually, the kids started playing around near them again. Soon though, he was back over at my patio looking in, watching me play. Soon after that, I hear Mama Karen, of course, yell at him again. This time though, he flinched. Hard. It broke my heart to see the effects of abuse in action, and he was just frozen, staring at her. This time, I jumped up and went to my patio door. She was already at him by then, and yelling at him again. I tried to interject to say I truly didn't mind that he was watching me play. This is where the Karen aspect comes in. She turned to me, sickly sweet, the demon gone for the moment, and kindly explained that dear Jason was grounded and not allowed to even look at a TV. I said, bummadoo to him in sympathy. She didn't like that I addressed him and not her. I also don't think she liked that I showed him sympathy instead of instantly taking her side, even though I had no idea why he was even punished in the first place. I wouldn't doubt it if it was some asinine, non-existent reason on her part, or her being bothered by normal child behaviours. She then asked me something that blew my mind. Can you please shut off your TV when we're out here? We are usually out here for some outside time for about an hour a day. Or can you just shut your window and blinds? Not gonna lie, the people pleaser I have been raised to be almost said, oh sure, no problem, and I was going to do it. Then I stopped myself thinking, what? Telling me what to do in my house? I'm trying to have a shinier spine. I told her, no, I won't. Oh boy, that sure as heck is her trigger word. I thought she was going to reach in and jerk me around and yell at me like I was her other child. The look was so instantly angry. She again explained the situation, fully expecting me to cooperate this time. She laid out her case. She made the demand again, not a full question this time. I again told her no. I came home to relax and this is how I do it. She asked me if I have kids. Uh-oh, I'm solidly child-free, and according to the laws of parenting, my thoughts and opinions are completely and instantly invalid unless I pop out at least one entire, mostly full-term crotch spawn. I told her no, and she smirked. I thought so. I was ready for a lecture on how to handle kids properly or something, but she just jerked her son away back towards the other woman, who I assumed was still there. She said something as she went, but I didn't really hear it, so I don't know if it was to me, her son, or her friend, maybe even grumbling to herself. I hadn't seen those two before yesterday, but apparently they are out there for at least 1 hour daily around that time. There's a pool, a few barbecue pits, and a grassy area outside my units in between the surrounding units and buildings. I get to see all the good doggos walk by, and it makes my day. I really hope she doesn't cause issues for me. I just want to live there and not be bothered. I'm not going to help her parent her child. No one else in the whole world should be expected to either. I just don't get how she thinks she can ask a total stranger to turn off the TV in their home because she's punishing her child in hers. Like, no, it doesn't work that way. I'm proud of myself for standing my ground, as brief as this encounter was. I do worry for the kid though. Yeah, I actually share the same concerns as OP here, 100%. Let's be fair, right? Banning your kid from watching TV or screens for any real reason of misbehaving is completely fair. If you want to do that as a parent, completely fair. I'd probably do the same if I have kids, let's be honest. But in this situation, banning your kid from watching any screen at all, like open in public areas, that's not only impossible, it's just ludicrous. Like, what sort of punishment is that? You're not allowed to watch any screens, even if you just, so like, what if they're just like going down the street and they walk past a TV shop? They're not allowed to, have a look in? Just, no, sorry, no TV means no TV. Fair enough, it's just a weird one in my opinion. Of course, on top of that, making you change your daily habits inside your own home because of her son? Nah, that is just not on. That is completely effed. Now guys, I know exactly what you're thinking. You're probably feeling very sympathetic towards this kid right here. He can't watch any TV, any Netflix, anything, any screens in the entire world. That is horrible. And I actually had that problem the other day myself. I was trying to watch something on Netflix in the UK where I live, but unfortunately it was only available in Canada. A weird one, I know, but that is where Dashlane, the kind sponsor of today's video, came in and saved the day for me. Dashlane is the easiest way to keep yourself safe and secure online. With quarantine, social distancing, and isolation still happening all over the world, we are using the internet more than ever right now. And Dashlane offers you an easy way to stay safe at all times online. Their VPN servers can encrypt your data at the push of a button, keeping you secure. And it also allows you to choose any country you would like to virtually be in, so you can access content from across the world which would otherwise be blocked on sites like Netflix. Dashlane also offers a safe, simple, and affordable way to store and fill your passwords and personal information. Their autofill makes logging into any website incredibly safe and easy. Just click once to log in and Dashlane will do the rest, even creating a secure password that you will never have to remember if you like. To put it simply, Dashlane works on everything, everywhere. So download Dashlane on your first device for free today by going to www.dashlane.com/Redditor. Then if you want to upgrade to premium to use Dashlane across all your devices, you can use my promo code Redditor to get a discount off your first year. So guys, if that sounds like something you may enjoy, check out the link on screen, in the description, and in the pinned comment. I myself have been using it a lot recently to watch football here in the UK, which is for some reason banned in my country, but is available in Canada. Why? I don't know, but who cares? I use Dashlane and I can watch it. Brilliant. Now moving on to our second story. Yesterday, I tried to keep some kids safe on a mountain bike trail. Then their mum threatened to knock me flat. I was out at my local mountain bike trail centre yesterday. It was a Sunday. Dry, nice day, lots of families out. There's a run maybe about 30 meters consisting of 4 or 5 berms, which are tight turns with high banks, and then a jump. It's a really good jump for practicing on, so I'm doing little loops there. There was a woman standing on top of the first berm, 30 meters away from the jump. This is mildly important information, taking pictures and not actually watching the mountain bikes coming towards her. This is therefore a super dangerous place to be. If someone comes in wide on the berm or slides over the crest, they're taking her down with them. She's not technically in my way though, so I just kind of think, your funeral and get on with my riding. I do a few loops on this little stretch, and then after maybe 4, there's a toddler, basically as young as I've ever seen someone ride a bike without training wheels, whatever age that is, and maybe a 6-year-old, just kind of frolicking on top of the jump. I yell at them, move out the way, a few times, but they don't. I swerve off the trail, come to a stop, double back, and tell them in a tone I would describe as very stern but not scolding that hanging out, not moving in the middle of a high-speed mountain bike trail is not only dangerous for me, but extremely dangerous for themselves. At this point, Berm Lady is jogging over, screaming, not yelling, screaming, "Do not talk to my children like that!" So I tell her, or attempt to, she's just repeating her screaming at me at this point, that I wouldn't have to talk to her children if she had been keeping them safe. or taught them how to stay safe in what is an inherently dangerous environment. At this point, she says, "I'll knock you flat." At which point I tell her I will defend myself if she attempts to touch me or my bicycle in any way. She then plays the victim and says, "I can't believe you'd hit a woman." "I can't believe you'd threaten me," I tell her. For reasons I still don't really understand, at this point I begin again trying to explain how dangerous her children's behaviour was, not just for me, but for themselves. But she just keeps shouting, "Who do you think you are?" I say my name is blank, but she cuts me off with, "I don't care who you are." So I asked her, "Then why the F do you keep asking?" Yeah, valid question. She then demanded I apologise to her daughter for swearing, and I told her she'd lost the right to ask me to do anything and expect me to accommodate when she threatened me. She repeats her demands though, and over her non-stop screaming, I attempt to tell her that I promise hearing me say F is a lot less dangerous to her toddler than being mowed down by a mountain bike would be. I swear to God, something about having children that aren't old enough for a parent I've grown to resent just a little bit turns people into freaking psychos. Yeah, this is just one of those stories where you know what's going to happen, right? This is going to keep going on and on for this Karen every time that she takes her kids to do something and they end up in a dangerous situation and she's like, "No, it's not dangerous," even though it clearly is. One day, they're going to get her. I'm just going to say it how it is. They're going to get her. And unfortunately, that seems to be the only way that she's ever going to learn how to actually, keep her children safe, because I can't see a situation or a future in which this doesn't end up badly. That is going to happen, isn't it, guys? Like, let's be honest. Something bad is going to happen to her kids because of her failure to manage the situation properly and tell them to not stand at the top of a jump on a BMX course. I mean, how dumb is that? OP, I'm sorry, you're just trying to be nice, but yeah, it's not worth it. It's just not worth even trying with this woman. She is that entitled and that ignorant in her own mind that, she knows what's going on, when clearly she has no knowledge of the entire world. Let's just say that. Now moving on to our third story, you're blocking the drive-thru. This happened earlier today. I drive a cement mixer and was just getting done pouring a drive-thru for a new Chick-fil-A going up in the area. The drive-thru is fresh and wet cement. There are construction fences all around, but the main building structure is completed. The fences all say "Stop construction staff only," except for one that has a Chick-fil-A coming soon sign. I'm washing down the truck when I hear loud honking. Not thinking anything of it, as I'm in a shopping centre, I keep washing the inside of the truck down. I then hear more honking and look over to the front to see a Karen, our entitled mum, with her head out of her window. Full Karen haircut, and she was screaming, "Move out of the way! You're blocking the drive-thru!" I see she has 2 empty car seats in the back and a sticker in her window saying babies on board. I'm glad her kids weren't in the car when this happened. I'm not a fan of cussing. I came down off the ladder to go and explain that it isn't open yet. As I walk towards the car, she starts moving her car closer to me. She is now about 2 feet from the front of my truck. My truck is back to the building. I keep thinking, how exactly does she expect me to get out? As I get to her window, I let her know nicely that the Chick-fil-A location is not open yet and inform her that she will need to move back so I can move my truck from the fenced off area. The entitled mum though is having none of it. She is adamant that I move my truck out of the way so she can get into the drive-thru. Well, I tried, I thought. I asked her to move her car back so I can move my truck out of the fenced area, but once again, she refused to comply and started beeping her horn again. I've had it. My truck horn, for those who don't know what one sounds like, are very, very loud. If you're too close, they can scare you and even give you a ring in your ears. As she was refusing to move and constantly honking her horn, I decided to show her mine. Honk, 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 and I started to move forward. The entitled mum moved her car back quickly. She must not have checked her mirrors or blind spot because she backed up into a stop sign that was about 75 feet away. Of course, she got out and came over to start blaming me for her own actions. "You forced me to back up into the sign. You are 100% at fault for my car damage. And you rushed my car up, so I had to avoid you by backing up as fast as I could." I love this one. The entitled mum called the police soon after. The site foreman saw the entire event, but he doesn't speak much English and likely already had to deal with various people trying to get into his site, so he just sat back and watched until the police arrived. We each told our stories, and of course, the entitled mum made her sound like it was a life or death situation where she was a kind woman just trying to make it to the new Chick-fil-A for lunch, and I was blocking it just to be cruel to her for no reason of her own. That without warning, I charged her vehicle and forced her to rush and back into the stop sign. The officer came over and asked if it was true. I replied, "No sir, I have a dash cam with audio. You can see if you could play the file on a computer." Lucky for me, our foreman offered his laptop. The entitled mum's story fell apart quick. The officer's face turned to a frown that I swear could have made the Pope feel guilty. He walked over to her, went straight to his handcuffs, and began to read her rights to her. The entitled mum was charged with obstruction of justice, reckless driving, and misuse of 911. As she was being placed into the back of the police charger, I saw a man coming over with a 2-child stroller that had 2 babies riding in it. The officer explained the situation to him, and he honestly didn't look surprised. He seemed to just nod and walk quietly over to the car, took pictures and unloaded his kids with the stroller and left. I feel bad that he had to go through that, but I'm under the impression that it wasn't the first time she has done something like this. I didn't press charges, but I reported everything to my company for their discretion to. I don't know, I feel like I've ran into more and more of these forms of people since COVID began. Oh, well OP, thank you for leaving us on such an interesting topic of discussion. Do you guys think that, because of COVID or just Corona in general and the pandemic and people being locked down and maybe being more stressed, there are more entitled people out and about, or at least more people showing, traits of entitlement? I can completely understand why that would be the case, but I can't lie, I've not really been outside too much over the past 7 months, so I've not really encountered too many entitled people in general, obviously because of lockdown and, self-isolation and staying indoors, all that sort of stuff. Guys, do you reckon you've seen more people or come across more entitled people because of COVID? Or there are just lots of entitled people anyway that you've come across? Let me know down below in the comments because I'm interested. And I don't know, because I've not seen sunlight in 7 months. Pretty crazy. Anyway guys, that is going to do it for this episode of Entitled Parents. Once again, I want to say a massive thank you to Dashlane, my long-term partner of over 14 months now. It's a madness. They've supported me for so long and I love their product. So guys, if you could go down into the description and just click on the link, it's completely free to download it. It'll be doing me a massive favor and ensuring that we can continue this long-term partnership, which is so beneficial to the channel. You have no idea. Yeah, just go and click the link, guys. It's always just a link you can click. And that's it. You don't have to do anything else. Just click the link. Easy as that. Also, if you are new around here, subscribe, watch more videos, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new upload.